Welcome everyone to Down the Rabbit Hole with Sapphire Soul and Morning Moon. And we are here today to talk about AI and aliens. My co-host Alyssa and I are excited to come back to you. We have taken a little bit of a hiatus to get our affairs in order for the before the holiday season hits. But we are back and we will be showing up every other week on Friday around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time if you want to catch us live in the group Down the Rabbit Hole with Sapphire Soul and Morning Moon here on Facebook. You can also find us on Spotify, download our podcast, and you can find us on YouTube. How's it going today, ma'am? How you doing today,
I am
Alyssa?
fabulous.
Sorry, I just
I'm
dropped.
better than you, apparently.
Apparently, I'm dropping things and dropping stuff like it's hot. Sorry.
That's right. All right. So, aliens. So, do you know about this whole three-eye atlas thing going on? Have
No,
you heard about
no,
it?
I've kind of
Okay.
heard something about it. I don't know much about it, so enlighten me. Let's hear the scoop.
Okay. So, there's this professor, I believe, from Harvard called Avi Loeb, I think is his name, and he was on Joe Rogan. Like,
Okay, yeah.
so this is the guy who like apparently kind of came out with like what it could be. So it's an interstellar object. It's the size of Manhattan. It is literally like doing things. There's like 9 or 10 different anomalies, like things that don't normally happen, right? Like at first they thought it was a comet, but it doesn't have all the characteristics of a comet because like there's no tail. There's like it's changing colors. It's basically headed towards Earth,
Mm.
right? So it was very close to our sun. Um, let's see how like I think it was like last week, maybe last Friday, like there was all this talk about the Schumann resonance and this
Hmm.
interstellar object. It's coming from the same location where the wow signal came from, which is basically this like signal that was put out into outer space looking for alien life, really, like other intelligent life, right? And this was, I think, back in like the 70s. Someone's gonna have to fact check me on this. I may be wrong on some of the, I'm just giving you like the synopsis of this from what I understood. Um, Definitely not an expert on it, but basically it came from that same area, that same like place in the solar system that apparently they got a signal from before, and all the scientists or the person wrote was wow, right? Like that's why it's called the wow signal. So
Oh, okay.
a lot of theories going on about it being, is it an asteroid? Is it intelligent life? Is it Project Bluebeam? Right? Like, so
Yeah.
there's all these things going on. And at first, like I had clients asking me about it, and I'm like, I don't know. Like when I tune into it, I felt nothing. Like quite literally. I was just like, I don't, I'm gonna have to do some research because I'm not sure, right? But as the day approached that all these people were talking about it being closest to our sun, basically, it also coincided with the Schumann resonance, which is
Mm-hmm.
like Earth's heartbeat
Mm-hmm.
frequency, right?
Mm-hmm.
That like spiked by, I don't know what the exact statistic is, but like a crazy amount. So some people, like in the spiritual community, are talking about how it is like a mirror or like a reflection of like, so it's like this uh higher intelligent species, right? And that they are coming here not to like invade us or whatever, but to kind of hold up a mirror to raise our frequency. um I mean, I recommend people research it themselves because I am definitely not an expert on it, but this is just like what I've pulled from it. But the interesting part about the spaceship and it being like the size of Manhattan is I had a dream about that like
Mm-hmm.
a few months ago. I think I even wrote a post about it on Facebook. I'm like, why are my dreams so freaking weird? And like it was a spaceship, almost like Independence Day,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
Like
Yeah,
remember
like the
Independence
movie.
Day, like
Yeah, oh
the big
yeah.
ass. It was like that, and I was in a city, and it was full of these skyscrapers, and there were people like down below, and there were these like drones or like light that was coming out of the spaceship. And basically, long story short, like I was the only one of the only people that lived, and everybody else was like, it was really fucked up. All these buildings were falling, but I somehow survived, and it was this, yeah, this thing that looks very eerily similar to this thing that's orbiting in our solar system that
Where's it
isn't.
at now? Like what's the ETA? Like is it still orbiting or is it past us or
Yes, it's coming directly towards us. I want to say December 21st, which I think is also the winter solstice. Again, I could be wrong. People may want to like research this on their own,
Mm.
but it is supposed to actually come closest to Earth in December.
Hmm.
So, and they discovered it in July, right? They discovered it in July, and this Avi Loeb is a expert on it,
What's his
basically. And
name?
he,
Avi Loeb?
Avi Loeb, yeah, like Aviloeb, I think. He was on Joe Rogan. It was a
Oh, I
really
found him.
big episode. There you go. So he can explain it better than me. You could probably even maybe find a little clip to play if you want it, but like it's interesting. And still, I didn't know what to think about it. Like as I tune into it, it's like I get these mixed signals. It's like maybe I'm not supposed to know. Like,
Okay,
is it
okay. Okay, so I pulled him up
okay?
on my computer here and okay, mother this guy is a part of the World Economic Forum, first of all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what the World Economic Forum is, they're basically the people in charge of like everything. They're the ones that pulled the trigger on 2020. And
Oh,
so
okay. So
so
he's
it's
part
Project
of.
Blue Beam. It's like what, come on, this is Project Blue Beam already. Like so Project Blue Beam is basically Project Bluebeam is, do you know what Project Bluebeam is,
I
Lisa?
do, but I want you
Okay.
to tell me
Yeah, so Project
or
Bluebeam
tell
is,
everyone.
yeah, Project Bluebeam is basically the world government's way of distracting everybody. It's going to be a fake alien invasion. They're going to come in and it's going to be like the Holocaust, basically. Like they want to come in and trick the people into thinking that the aliens are here and they're going to take the people away.
Yeah, that we
And
all need to come
they
together.
need
We
to
need to
come
have one
together
world
and
government
one world
and
government sort of thing and
new world order.
new world order and that Jesus is an alien and he's coming down and yeah.
We may see projections
We
like
made
in different
projection.
languages, like in the sky type of
Yeah.
thing, like actual, like you can't ignore it,
Yeah.
right?
Like
And it's
yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
and what they're
Holographic.
using what? AI,
Yeah,
right? In
holograms and
a, in
AI. Yeah.
Yep, that's how they're, and that technology is completely. I did
Yeah.
a deep dive on DARPA in the middle of the night randomly
Oh,
when I couldn't
girl.
sleep. Like, and I'm like, oh, damn, like I had no idea, like
Yeah.
that this organization was so influential in every technological advancement that we have had for a very long time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So
but so what do you think? Do you think it's aliens?
hell no.
You think
Well,
it's,
first of all,
you
I
don't think
think
so?
that no, aliens are demons anyways, in my
Okay,
opinion.
so let's
Like
talk about that.
so
So,
I believe that aliens are demons. I mean, Aleister Crowley summoned Lam, the gray alien. That's where the whole thought of the gray
oh, I
aliens
just got the
came from.
grossest chills. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude,
I
there's
didn't know
like this
that.
whole yeah, aliens
What?
are demons. So, I mean, think about it.
Okay, okay, I hear you.
Like
I
other entities, if it's not of God, what is it? You know, like and demons are just fallen angels that want to be they want to be in charge of everything. They don't want to
so do you
answer
think
to something
all
larger than themselves.
aliens are demons, or do you think there's any like intelligent life out there that's good, right? Like,
Well,
do you think
angels.
that
I
there's
mean, there's
okay,
angels and demons. Like we are in a battle of
spiritual?
spiritual battle of good and evil. I mean, I think that there are sentient beings, and um, I think that there are beings that are of God and that you know that bow down to, I don't want to say bow down, but that have reverence for God and that are pushing the good forces. And then I think that there are the forces that are pushing the other side of things. Like if you're not, if you think you, if an entity is like promoting worship of themselves, right? Or an entity is like, I
Mm,
am of, I am the end all be all, and they're not, and it's
yeah.
not answering to something bigger than itself, then what is that?
Yeah, no, I feel that. I know psychics and stuff who like claim to channel like alien whatever's, what's that dude's name? Bashar or whatever. He like says that he
Yeah.
channels this like extraterrestrial. And I've had people ask me, like I'm like, I've like tuned in to that stuff briefly, but it feels so wrong. Like I like directly to source or not at all. Because there's something above them, right?
Right.
Because there is this weird energy there.
There's nothing
So
above God. Like there's nothing
mm-mm.
above God who created
Like
all.
somebody had to have made them, right? I
Well,
mean,
God made them, but they decided to say to give the middle finger to God and say that they are God.
mhm.
So if you're giving middle finger to God and having the lower, like we are the lower, worshiping them and taking your eyes off of the highest of the high, then what is that? Like,
Yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
false light,
it's a false
right? Or a
light, right?
distraction
Right.
from source,
From
right? Because
source,
there's
right.
power there in dark, right? There's power in those lower frequencies, just like there is in higher ones,
Of
right?
course.
It's just a grosser and heavier kind of power with a different type of, you know,
Well, it's a distraction.
soul consequence.
Yeah, it's a distraction.
Yeah.
And if you the only way to basically have your in the Christian and Orthodox faith and in the I don't want to speak for the like Orthodox faith because I'm not totally the Orthodox Christian. I haven't been baptized. I'm not even like officially a catechumen yet, but I'm doing a lot of different study. My husband actually gets baptized today
Oh my
into the faith. Yeah,
goodness.
and he gets to take communion and he's done his study and he's done the work. And from what I have learned from his study, um, is that yes, there are other entities, but if they don't answer to the highest of the high, which is God, you don't answer to God, and the Trinity, then you're answering to what? It's like you either answer to the highest of the high or you answer to yourself, which is essentially if you worship yourself or you worship something lower than God, then
Mm,
what is that, right? Like then it's taking your eyes off of that. And the only way that you can get like snuffed out and thrown into the lake of fire, so to speak, would be to deny God completely
mm,
and to
I feel
deny
that.
and
Okay.
to deny
All
the creator, the one that created all, right? So the one
No,
that
that makes
created
sense. I get
everything,
that.
if you I mean like, and so all these people have a distraction and they're distracted from what is, the original creator, and they're distracted from the one that created all, and they're focusing on these lower entities, then what is that?
Yeah.
Right? If you're not
No, I
fighting,
feel
if
that. What about CERN coming through and opening that shit up and like the
girl,
portals and the dark energy that came in with that?
Have you
Like
seen have you seen the CERN
the
rituals?
Shiva, or I've seen, yes, I haven't attended
Well,
personally.
no,
They've
but have you seen
invited
the
me,
videos of
but
the rituals?
yeah, yep,
Yeah, of
yeah.
the very like demonic.
Yeah, it is very dark, demonic,
It's very dark
creepy
energy, right?
energy
Yeah, if
for
you're not,
sure.
you know, it's it's interesting because, people could say, "Oh, well, there's so many paths to God." But if you're not if you're not surrendering to the one that created everything and you're not surrendering you know, to God, what are you surrendering to? What are you worshiping? Like, and like this alien thing is like, okay, we're definitely not the only things in the universe, right? We're definitely
Yeah,
not the
that'd be
only
almost
beings in
ignorant
the
to think
universe.
that. Yeah, there
Yeah,
has to be. And, like William Cooper, and I love that book, Behold the Pale Horse. He
oh
talks
yeah,
about all this, all the different species of aliens,
yeah,
how and when they came in, right? Like, and he was like
yeah.
a CIA, like, whistleblower, who actually died after the fucking, his podcast or whatever, like on 9/11 or whatever, like,
Oh
because he
wow.
predicted it and like came out. that's a fun rabbit hole. But he talks about all of these government secrets from being high up in the military, having access to information, and aliens is like a big chapter there. And I think it even talks about some version of Project Ruby, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. I
Yeah.
could be wrong on that, but he talks about like how all of this and how the purpose would be to have a one world government to incite the, evoke the, it's not the right word. I don't know what the right word is, to activate the new world order,
Yeah.
basically. Because if we have an extraterrestrial threat, then all the nations would come together in a sense, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly. And
and
I'm not,
AI and all. Oh God, yeah.
oh yeah. And like that rabbit hole of the AI thing. Um, but
Yeah, what
humans,
do you think about that?
sometimes I wonder if there's not a human behind some of these um prompts that come out, like some of these answers and these responses, because yesterday I was reading
Like,
about,
you think it's sentient type of thing, or you think
no,
it's like an actual human that is?
I think I don't, if it is sentient, then it's obviously not of God. I mean,
I keep wondering. I've had like weird intuitive nudges that it's like the antichrist or whatever, and I'm like, why do I think that?
yeah.
It's like randomly popped in my head, like how it's
Well,
literally, what happens to people the more they use it, right? When they're
their
using it,
brain their gray matter decreases. Like they
yeah, the neural
actually,
pathways in their brain, they become lazier, they lose their
hmm
creative flow, and that's what makes us human,
right. Well,
right? Like
think
what makes
about
us
it. Yeah.
human, like that creativity, the ability to love, to create, to dance, to, write, all of those things, art. And what did AI do? It came in and went directly for that shit.
Well, if
Artists, that was one of the first things. You remember that?
yeah,
Like, artists were
art.
pissed at first,
Yeah, and
right? And
here
I
I am.
know really good artists that
Yeah,
are out of, they don't have a job
yeah.
anymore because of it. Like, it's,
Well, if you think about what Lucifer's intention is, because Lucifer is the fallen angel, and they call him Satan, the devil. What the dark force's intention is, it's to mirror what God created. And in order
oh,
to mirror what God created and create your own and create their own world and their own um dimension, basically,
mm-hmm.
a counterfeit dimension. And when you think about that, when you really, really think about it, computers, I mean, like the internet, the whole thing, like there's this whole world that exists, but it's counterfeit. It's not real. It's not real. It's not
The
tangible. It's not
Matrix.
like you can't like reach out and touch the internet, right? Like I'm touching this, little statue. You can't touch it. It's not tangible. It's all just a counterfeit, but if people's minds get hijacked
Like a
into
simulation in a sense.
right, right, because God is the creator of all things, and Lucifer was pissed because Lucifer wanted to be worshipped the same as God because he had talent and was beautiful and was the fallen angel because he denied God and said, I'm not gonna worship you. I want to be worshipped, right? So then I will just create my own, I will go to, I will go and create my own counterfeit reality. And so what is AI? AI is a counterfeit reality. And it's a
Oh,
counter
I feel that.
Yeah, and the internet. I mean, the internet in and of itself, like this whole entire thing is a counterfeit reality. And if you
Yeah,
look at
that's
like,
another thing Bill Cooper talked about, was that there's a whole chapter called Silent Weapons for, or Deadly Weapons for Silent Wars, and it's all about the computer and how the plan was back in like the 50s or whatever for every American to have one of these devices in their home,
right,
right? And that would be the start of like the surveillance state in a sense.
right, and it's hijacking people's attention, and it's hijacking their sense of reality, and it's hijacking their creativity. Like, think about it. Where does creativity break through? When you get silent and you get bored, right? Like when we were young, we didn't have all of these technologies, and we didn't have, I mean, we had like Walkmans and Discmans and stuff, but we didn't have podcasts on demand where we're constantly listening to other people's
Mm-mm.
opinions and constantly having input and sensory. We we were able to
It's
sit in the
so sensory
silence.
overload. Yeah, it
Right. And
really
that's where new
is.
ideas come from. That's why movies right now are crap. Like the entertainment industry is basically crap, and it's um a replication of something that was created beforehand. It's like, Fantastic Four 5, like Batman 900,
I
like
was
that.
watching something on
Yeah,
this. Yes, it's
yeah.
almost like since the 90s or whatever, like early 2000s, there is not, it's like everything
There's
is a
nothing
replay.
original.
Yes. And
It's because
yes,
we don't get
it's
bored and we don't have time to sit with God and
source
and
with,
source and have
yeah,
created and actually like have time to be creative. We're so overstimulated
stimulated
and
and
so
busy. And we have to like be in this rat race just to survive. And it's like we don't get to slow down and it's a feminine thing, creation, right? Be in our feminine energy. That's a big thing that like I felt has shifted in my life for the last couple of months is I feel so much more my feminine energy. I'm working on my book, like in
yeah,
like that's something that I've like had
yeah,
way over here, right?
yeah,
I think that we need, yeah, that creative force. It's feminine, right? I mean, not to say that, you know what I mean?
right,
Like the energy
right.
is feminine. Um, being able to receive from somewhere something bigger than ourselves, right? Tapping
Right.
into like universal knowledge, like being one with the earth. Those are things that they've cut us off from, right?
Yeah.
To keep us controllable in a sense.
And
And people
distracted.
are waking up, yep, and distracted. And yeah, there, I mean, the whole thing.
And
It's
AI just makes it worse because it's like you can't even brainstorm on your own anymore, right?
no, it's absolutely ridiculous. You know that there's people, I know people who are using it for everything from like a therapist
Yeah.
to writing their own books or whatever. I
Yeah.
think it can be useful to use it to like reconstruct like some sentences or
Sure.
like, can you help me clean this up? I'll do that sometimes, but like they have other people like this AI is like writing the whole fucking, and as somebody who writes, like who's been writing longer than
Yes.
anything fucking else, it's almost
Yes.
offensive that like
Yes.
it's like, oh my God, come up with your, like, if you can't write, then you can't write. Like, don't try to fucking, I
But
don't
it
know.
all
It's just
sounds the
insane to me.
same now. It all sounds the same.
It
Like
does.
you and I are both in the same industry. And how many times have you scrolled and their posts also, and you can tell right away when someone has used AI,
Hmm.
because of the way that the sentence is structured, and it's lost. It feels energetically dead, and it's lost its magic. Like you can
Oh,
tell.
that's something I
Yeah.
so want to talk about real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
interrupt you.
No, you're good. No, you're good. It's fine.
Um, the
Yeah.
energy part of it, right?
Yeah.
It
Right.
is. I have client not so much anymore because I've talked about it like openly, what I think it is because I wasn't sure in the beginning, but who are using it like as a spiritual advisor. I think that is dangerous. I think that it
Mm-hmm.
opens us up on a level to something that is dark because like you said, those who's created it, right? Like
Right.
there are people with negative intention behind it and there's a whole energetic signature of frequency, right? That we're tapping into. Just it's similar to like one of my first mentors, right? He created, ironically, it was called Matrix Energetics, right? It was like this big, his
Mm-hmm.
business, and he was traveling the world, and he actually created like a quantum field that people could plug into, in a sense, right? It's all based
Mm-hmm.
on frequency, it's all based on quantum physics, like any
Mm-hmm.
form of energy healing.
Mm-hmm.
And when that field gets distorted, it
Mm.
affects everyone that's plugged in, right?
Yeah.
So same thing, AI, right? Whoever created it or those that have created it, oftentimes there is some very dark intention behind it. Like what can the government use it for? I mean, there's so many different things that are not good, like this, to survey us basically. But I have seen negative like entity attachments to clients who have opened themselves up and tried to use it like as their personal like psychic or whatever, talking to people on the other side with it. They think they are like, I'm like, there is darkness here. And this is why we need to be able to trust our own discernment and not give the power away to someone else. That's why I try to like really activate my clients their own ability to tune in to, something higher than themselves,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't even
Yeah.
want them like depending on me in such a way, right? Because
Yeah.
I am just a human, right? I'm just connecting to something bigger than me that I can't explain, that I have faith and trust in, and that could be taken from me at any point, right? Just like it was given, right? And there's something dark about what they are connecting with. I've seen like full on, like, and then they start having nightmares and all sorts of weird shit. And this is when they're using it like as a spiritual
Well, yeah, demons can
companion.
attack you in your dreams. I mean,
And yeah, you're letting them in, and
you're
they don't
letting them
realize
in.
that they're letting them in with that communication. Like I
Hmm.
tried to do what other people were doing. Like I used the little prompts that they use to kind of like program it,
Hmm.
and it sounded okay. Like, okay, I can see why somebody would be, you know,
Sweet.
receive this and think that it's accurate,
Well, and if
but
you
it's
don't have a
dark. It had no
strong
soul behind it.
no soul,
It
and if
was
you
dark.
don't have a strong anchor into your faith and what you believe, then you're going to be fooled by
Whipped around
anything.
in the,
Like, yeah,
yeah,
you're like,
in
and a
those
lot of people
realms.
don't even know what they believe, and that's part of what my faith, like, to me, Jesus Christ makes sense if you really think about God and you think about, okay, what would the ultimate test to see if your people have faith in you, and to see what, if they're really serious, is if you send your son down and you have him be crucified, and to have this whole chain of events happen, and then are people going to surrender to you? Are people going to surrender to something bigger than themselves? Or are they going to just say, no, I know. No, I know. No, no, me, and
Ego in
ego,
there.
and no, I know the true way. No, me. And so the story of Jesus is so, when you really sit down and you like trip out on it, and you think about it for a long time, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And Christians are persecuted all over the world. I don't know any other religion that is persecuted in the way that Christians are. Like,
Yeah,
Christians are
and have
straight up
been for a
killed for their
very
beliefs. For
long
since the
time.
time of Jesus, Christians have
Hmm.
been killed for their belief. Why? Why?
It's a threat because to the narrative of, I don't know, I just keep, probably shouldn't get too far into that topic, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a threat to
I've
the
got a
narrative.
whole,
It's a
yeah, I'll
threat
just
to
say
the
that.
narrative. It's a threat to the narrative, and oh yeah, yeah. I can't go into that topic either, but the narrative, they want to keep us away from what the truth and the light is.
Yeah, and we are rapidly evolving and waking up. I've seen it
Hmm.
happen. Like I always had dreams that that would happen, but I didn't know how it was going to unfold. But I've
Hmm.
seen, I mean, especially there's like been these waves of people just awakening. And I think that there's a bit of controversy around what that looks like or what it means. But ultimately,
Hmm.
people are understanding that what we've been taught and told and shown is not all there is, right? Like we aren't, people are just evolving. And I think that humans have the capacity to do things that we do not realize we have the capacity to do because we've been
Absolutely.
dumbed down. And I mean, if you look
It's
back
been
to
hijacked.
even like, yeah, like I'm teaching my kids history, ancient history right now,
Hmm.
right? And we're going
Hmm.
back and they brought up something that I'm like, that's a really good point. We're talking
Hmm.
about like ancient India and China and,
Hmm.
Mesopotamia. I mean, we went way back to like nomad. And what I found interesting, which is so true, is why is it the further you go back, the more technology they had, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they had indoor plumbing, they had indoor swimming pools. This is in India, like ancient India. Um, and I'm like, wow, that's interesting. And that goes into the whole Tartaria thing and how,
Hmm.
and Nikola Tesla and the free energy
Hmm.
that was
Yep.
corrupted by like the Rockefellers and
Yeah.
like the 13 families and the whole thing,
Yep.
right? Like
Hmm.
there was like Tartaria, like it has been wiped off the map, which is a whole nother deep dive we've got to go into. But
Yeah.
um, which we will have an expert to help us with
Yes,
that when it's
absolutely.
time. But
Absolutely.
um, but it's fascinating because that free energy
Mm.
that, I mean, we don't need to pay and do all the things the way that it's like a prison
Yeah.
place right now, planet,
Yeah.
basically, because like
Prison
we
planet.
have access to this, yep, prison planet.
Open
We
air
literally have
prison.
access, yeah, to all of this. Like there used to be free travel, all
Yeah.
of it. Then they
Now
introduced
they're
the
trying to
passport. You
suspend.
know,
Now they're trying to do this too. Now they're trying to implement travel restrictions as far as cars goes because they're driving up the prices of vehicles to the point where normal people can't buy them. They're making it to where you have to have um put mileage.
socialism type of thing.
Yeah, well, the new insurance, there are new insurance companies that they track your mileage, they track where you're going. You have to have like a tracker to
Oh my God,
report.
I have a friend who has one, and they're like, I have to drive like this because I'll save money if I'm like,
Yeah,
it's almost like
yeah,
Life 360 is kind of hooked up to
yes,
their
yes, yes, and they have
like
like trackers that are tracking people where they're going, what they're doing.
AI. It is dangerous. Like, hasn't anybody
Mhm.
like watched the Terminator? Like, what the fuck? And like all the movies, like that they were clearly
They
conditioning
have to
us
show you what
to
they're doing in
what
order
they
for
do.
us to give them permission to do it. Like,
Yes, just like in order for somebody like a demon or a negative entity to come in and attach to you, you have to give it
yeah,
permission. And AI, them using it as like a,
they've done it
hey, let
through
me talk to my dead uncle. Like
through
it's
Hollywood. Yeah.
yeah, and they have the CIA. They've had the CIA,
That's why it was
like they have like a whole
created.
branch, yeah,
Yeah.
in Hollywood
Yeah, like
for a long time.
the movie The Island. Have you ever seen the movie The Island?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think
Um,
maybe. I don't it's
um,
unmemorable.
it's with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
So
The
it's all,
islands.
yeah, The Island. It's all about, I think it was made in like 2005 or
That's so
2006.
funny. I just wrote 2004
Yeah.
right before that. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. I
Did.
think it was in that time that it was made, and it was all about this underground facility that was hosting clones that they had like clones that had grown in a like a test area that had grown up into be human, like to be adults. But the
Like the
rich,
Cabbage Patch Kid theory,
yeah.
is that kind of what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah, yeah, exactly that. So these clones grow up into full, full adult clones, and they live this whole life in this underground facility. And then when their rich person that they've been cloned of needs an organ donor, they get harvested. These clones get killed in there, and they go off into what's called like I can't even remember, but it's like they get chosen, right? They get chosen, and it's time for them to go and ascend, and they're going to the island. That's what it is. That's why it's called the island. So
Dude, I
they get
have
to
to go
go to
watch
the
this
island.
now.
Yeah, they
Where
get
can I
to
watch it?
probably Amazon.
Okay,
I
like
have
every
a
fucking streaming service, like
Yeah,
it's
well, that's a whole nother
ridiculous
rabbit hole
person.
thing. Like, you notice we don't own anything anymore. Like, we don't actually, like, it
Isn't
used to
that
be,
socialism? Is that what it's called? Like this new New York mayor, like they're supposed to be, it's like you're, what is
you
that?
will
Like
own
you'll
nothing
own
and be
nothing and love
happy.
it. Yeah.
You will own
Yeah.
nothing and be happy. Because that
It's
is
like
a
the
way that they keep
5 minute
us.
cities or
Yeah,
15
that's the
minute cities.
15-minute cities. Yeah, you'll own nothing and be happy. But it's like we have all these streaming services. We have all of these things
It's
where,
more than the freaking than cable. You know, we
oh,
started doing that. Did we not to not pay for cable? I we paid the stupidest amount for streaming services. And
yeah,
I'm like, we talk about it like probably every other month. We need to really cancel some of these. And
yeah.
then we'll go to cancel it and it'll be like, we're gonna give you half off for the next 2 months. And we're like,
Or you can't
oh,
watch
okay,
this
fuck it.
unless it's on this. Like we wanted to watch The
Oh
House
yeah,
of
or you
David.
have to pay. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's okay. We wanted to watch
Like
The
you have to
House of
pay for certain
David.
episodes.
Yeah, yeah, we want to watch The House of David, like there, because we watched it on, I think like Amazon Prime or something, and then we went to go
Mhm.
try to watch it the second season, and it was like behind a paywall of a brand new company that they had
Yeah,
just
little
created.
locks.
Yeah, yeah, and so then you have to pay for that, and so like I was adding up
It
my
makes
bill.
no sense.
No, I was adding up my bill one day, and I was like, I was literally paying $200 a month for streaming services,
We
and
are paying probably 250 a month right
yeah,
now
yeah,
for streaming services. And we
for
watch like two of them. And we've been watching
same.
YouTube
Yeah.
more than it, which is
Yeah.
free. Like what?
Yeah.
And then like I have my dad's YouTube TV, it like access to that, and we've been watching
Yeah.
that. like
Yeah,
that, YouTube and Amazon. But I pay Netflix used to be like 9.99 a
I
month,
canceled
14.99.
Netflix.
It
It's
is
always crap.
27.99. Yep, I keep saying I'm going to cancel it, but then
I
we have like
canceled it because
HBO
there's
Max and
nothing. I just got
yeah.
HBO Max because there was but like it's like they don't and you can't own anything like there's no CDs anymore. There's no remember when you used to have like CD books
Oh
and
my
you'd own
God, you're
CDs
right.
and then the DVDs. There's no
So
DVDs
they're
anymore.
already doing it to us on a smaller scale,
Yeah, you
and
will
I
own
that's
nothing and be
amazing.
happy. Like you will own nothing and be happy. Like and remember software? We used to own our own software. Like
Oh yeah.
there's not even a DVD player on my computer
Oh, I
anymore.
don't have one at all. My kids needed a DVD player for a disc that they
Yeah.
needed for math that they were
Yeah.
doing some
Yeah.
like math you can see. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how does my laptop not even have an option? We had
Yeah.
to do it in the PS5.
Yeah, and you remember we
I'm
used to
like,
get AOL, like you would have the disk for AOL and you'd put it in your computer and then it would
yeah,
upload. Yeah, you
are
don't even
we
or
that
Windows.
old? Like, what
We
the fuck?
are.
Yes, Windows and
We're
like
middle aged, we're
Microsoft.
teenagers.
I just read that term the other day, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that's fucking. Maybe I
teenagers.
read it because you posted it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You know, it's so funny.
that's
Like,
accurate.
well, it's weird though. It's like it's weird that we like and think about if that's what's happened in our lifetime, what's going to happen in our children's lifetime. That's when
I
they're
already
going,
have. Like I've
yeah,
got adults, remember? Like
yeah,
they like were when we were well, I'm 42. So
yeah.
like when
I'm
I was a
40.
teenager, the
Yeah,
internet, like I was like 15 or something, like when we got and it was like with DSL or whatever it was, like really
yeah,
slow. Like and well, like no, like you would call somebody and if they're on the internet, you get a busy signal. And then
yep.
eventually DSL or whatever came out where you were able to like it, I mean, I don't think that they understand how quick. I mean, I had a fucking pager. I didn't get a
Right?
cell
Me too.
phone until I was what, like 19, 20.
I
Yeah,
was
I had like
20 when I got
all
my
the
first
last
cell phone.
pagers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I was probably around the same age, maybe
yeah,
19.
yeah,
But it was like new and it was like a Nokia, like brick phone. Like there wasn't
yeah.
a lot of options and you couldn't say, like my kids, my adult kids who are 24, almost 21, my daughter's birthday's on the 13th. And oh, I just misstated 24, 22, and 21. Um, and then I've got younger ones. It's just crazy,
Yeah.
like to like even what they've like how much technology has changed since they've been born. My oldest was
Oh,
born in 2001,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's insane.
We
It's
don't
crazy.
own anything, and soon they'll make it to where driving is for the elite. I mean, think about like malls too. Remember we used to go hang out in the mall or
Yes,
go shopping?
remember the mall?
Yeah, now we don't go shopping. We just go on the internet. It's delivered to our house, so that whole experience of shopping is gone. And then when COVID happened, it made it to where
Boom.
eating out became elitist. So like when you go to eat out, it costs a ton of money. So now like if you want to, eat in, like most people like a lot of people will call and eat in because it's like
Like
if
Uber Eats, like I
yeah.
the amount of money that I've spent like on DoorDash and Uber Eats. I've been cooking at home again, which my kids are like, "Oh my God, you can cook," which I
Yeah.
feel terrible about because
Yeah.
like I just, was so business focused for a while that I
Yeah.
just wasn't, you know,
Yeah.
that's a
There
whole
you will own nothing and be happy,
topic in itself. That's
Like
that's
it's
insane.
well, and then if you want to get into the food thing, like we could go into the McDonald's conspiracy. Oh my gosh,
Ooh, like
like
the human meat
the
shit.
human meat shit. Yeah, I was just reading about that, about how like there's been baby teeth found in McDonald's burgers and
Shut
like
up.
yeah, dude. Well, and if
Oh
you
my God.
think about the amount of cows that they would need to feed, what is it like? What do they say? They say it's like 1 million people served in one day or something crazy, like or 14, it was
Are
14
you
million.
serious?
Yeah, 14 million burgers served in one day. And it's like, well, the amount of cows that you would need for that, like, let me see. How
Yeah,
many?
where do they own farm?
Well, right. Bill Gates owns those farms. Like, okay, so 6.48 million burgers are sold each day worldwide. So that breaks down to 75 burgers sold every second.
Like, wow. Okay.
Every second, 75 burgers are sold. Okay, so like if like how many cows do you think that it takes, right?
That's a
To
lot.
That's a lot of cows. Do you see that many cows? Like you would have to have a cow. you'd have to have farms everywhere. Like, and we don't like
Yeah, like McDonald's would have to like own
own,
their own,
yeah,
like,
how many farms, like
I've never thought about that really.
yeah,
Like, I mean, I've heard this theory, but I
yeah.
haven't like deep dived into that
Well,
rabbit hole.
right.
So
You
what
would
else
have,
do you know about it? Great.
yeah, like, so like McDonald's doesn't own any farms. It relies on a vast network of independent farms and ranchers throughout the supply chain. Okay. So, like, just
Who?
think about that, right? You would have to have, it owns
They would like have
28.4,
to,
yeah. They would have to have how many cows? Like you would have, I mean, like seriously, how many cows? Like we would see a lot more cows out there, I think, if there was really that, because McDonald's isn't the only place that sells
I was gonna say,
burgers.
it's not like they're the only one,
Burger place,
right?
right?
And then there's like the what you see in the
Wendy's and
grocery store,
right,
right? Like,
right. Like and all the restaurant chains and like Cisco, like what is like you want to go down the Cisco rabbit hole. All these restaurants get stuff from Cisco. Well, what the hell is Cisco? Like,
yeah,
and where
what
does
is
Cisco
Cisco?
Cisco it's a company that supplies restaurant chains with all of their products and their foods and stuff. And so like where's Cisco getting its food? Let's see. Where does Cisco get their food? Like it's gonna say from independent farmers again. But if this was the case, like if we were feeding this many people with restaurants and fast food chains, I really believe that we would see a lot more like farms out there, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you think that?
Yeah,
Wouldn't you think? But like we're probably just
yeah.
eating other humans. I mean, realistically. I mean, honestly, like it's the largest food distributor. So it's the nation's largest food distributor. I don't know. I like 730,000 customer locations and 340 facilities for Cisco. But where the heck does Cisco? That's a rabbit hole I really want to go down is and I'll do a little bit
Yeah, I've
more.
never even heard of that.
I'll do a
I'm gonna
little
have to
bit
look at it.
more research on Cisco, but it's like where do they get their food? Like where are they getting all their food from? Where is all of our food coming from? Because if we are really eating and that consuming that many cows, like that many like beef products, I really truly believe that we would have a lot more farms out there. And farms are shutting down,
Yeah, and people like the Bill Gates are like buying them up,
buying them up.
the land.
But
You
they're trying to get rid of beef products because of cow farts causing global warming or whatever, that whole narrative. So it's like
That's ridiculous.
they're feeding us each other.
Yeah, cows have multiple stomachs, and I can't remember what it's called. That makes that's actually easier to digest for humans. You know, that we
Yeah.
were very carnivore, very if our ancestors for a very long time, and we ate like maybe 10%, 8 to 10% was fruits and vegetables, and plants were like, I mean, that's a whole topic in
It's a whole
itself.
thing.
But
Well, and if you want to get
yeah.
into humans and like the funeral industry, so like one of the, I mean, we're like kind
Yeah,
of
we were
going,
just talking
oh
about
my
that the
God.
other day.
Yeah. Like, have you noticed that so having gone
Like,
into,
how is it not grown? Like where's everybody going? You know what I mean? Like,
and they
what are
have
they?
this huge push for cremation,
Which I
right?
kind of get that, right? The cremation, because it's like, what else are you gonna? Where are you gonna put
Well,
all those bodies? And how is the cemetery not growing?
but how do we even know that's what they're giving us? Right? Like how do you know
What
that
are they doing with those
how do you
bodies?
know that the funeral industry isn't selling it off to the food industry and then
To
just giving us
McDonald's.
dirt and then just giving us like dirt or something? How do we know? Like how do we know? We don't know. And the other thing is like okay, like if you look at all of the like religions and the religions of the world, like death is a huge thing. We get like basically we just sweep death under the rug and like in at least in my belief system in my religion, like the funeral's a big deal. Like that's like the reverence of the dead is a big deal. And like burying your dead is a big deal. It's always been a big deal
Yeah,
in
all the
all
way back to like
faiths. In all
Egyptian
faiths,
times, all the different.
it's always been a big deal. Like
We
to
just
like
did
the
all the way back
reverence.
to like Samaria and like how they
How they dealt with
handled
their
their
dead.
dead,
How do you
and
handle your dead?
mummifying and like all of the things that they did for their soul, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. We don't do that. And as a culture, America just kind of like lets someone else handle it, right? And so
mhm.
it's like, well, how do we know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, that just gave me full chills when you said that. It is so, we are
Yeah.
so disconnected, and death has become such a taboo thing. In places like even still to this day, like, well, India is a big one, right? Like, I've got a
Hmm.
lot of Indian clients.
Yeah.
Japan, after the tsunami in
Yeah.
Japan, that there is like the the locals there. They talk about like the ghosts of those that died, right? And that they will oftentimes see them and can like see beyond the veil and like what they. I've watched like a whole bunch of not a whole bunch of stuff, but I've seen some stuff on it. And I thought it was really interesting to like hear their perspective of they're still here. They're just in another dimension, whatever it is, right? Like
Mhm.
they've got um yeah, we don't. We are
We don't,
disconnected, and death has become taboo in the West.
someone
And
else handles it.
yep, you're absolutely
And we
right.
trust them
You
to
are.
handle it. And it's like, well,
You're
what,
absolutely right. What's happening to
like, how do we know that they're not, selling off the bodies to some food corporation and then giving
yeah,
us
the
dirt?
organs, the
Yeah, or giving us,
I'm just thinking about when my daughter passed, right? And
yeah.
she did get cremated. Before the cremation,
Mm-hmm.
I held her
Mm-hmm.
lifeless body. I'm gonna try not to get emotional. Um, and I mean, her soul wasn't in it, and that was the
Mm-hmm.
most traumatizing part. But it was her,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to like see them
We don't see
put her
them.
in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't
like
see
I don't,
that.
but I got the ashes back. You're right. Yeah, the dirt. I get what you're
You
saying. Like
get
I
the
got the
dirt.
ashes
You
back,
get the ashes. How do we know what
but
the
I
ashes
didn't
are?
get to sit there and watch
Watch.
her.
Right.
I wonder if people ever request that. Like, what happens if you like? I don't think I could have personally handled that part,
Well,
right?
they
Like,
know that
I
we
think I
couldn't
would have
handle that
completely
part.
fucking lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we don't know.
Like, what did they used to do? They used to like put people like Vikings and shit. Isn't it Vikings like put them out like on a pyre or whatever it's called, like out
Yeah.
on the
Yeah. Yeah. And I think they were one
and
of the
burn
only
them
ones that,
with.
I think they were some of the only ones that did burn them. Like I think most people, because that's why they have the catacombs in France, because people wanted to bury their dead. Because it's always been that, like, especially in
Like go
Christian
back to
cultures.
the earth.
Well, right. Not only that, but in the Christian culture, there's the resurrection after Jesus comes back, then the new earth is created and we rise up from the dead. And so, at least in Christian faith, most of the time we have buried our dead so that when Jesus returns, we're able to be resurrected
Whole.
into whole again, right? Like come back.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah. Why
so,
is
so why are we burning everyone? Like, it's just like a weird rabbit hole to go down, and I hate to go into that Soylent Green category, but like what are they? And then that whole you want to talk about, some corruption, the medical field. If you did you know that if you're an organ donor, they like if
Oh yeah, I want to take that off my thing that they won't even try to fucking
they won't save
like
you. And they
revive you.
tell that to you. So I'm a certified well, my certification is lapsed, but I was a certified medical assistant for
Oh
like
yeah,
17
yeah.
years. And one of the first things they told us in medical assistant school, like we had these people come in that worked for the organ donation, like company, and like, well, not company, but the people that promote
Like
organ
the
donation, and
branch or
like
whatever.
the,
Yeah.
like the people that come and take the organs that are donated and determine where they're distributed. The guy straight up told us, if you want them to have more of an effort, if you want the providers to actually give effort to save your life, then don't be an organ donor. Because if you're an organ donor, then they will not try to save you, as they will not try to save your life.
Yeah, I've heard this too.
They
I've heard
will.
some really tragic stories about it, like
Well,
personal stories from
yeah, the
people who've
organ
lost
donation.
people.
Yeah, the organ donation, the like the black market for organs
The
is like,
harvesting, yeah, like.
It's worse than that's something that people don't talk about. So everybody always talks about the human trafficking and like the sex
Hmm.
trafficking part of it, but they don't actually talk about the organ harvesting part of it. Like one of the biggest black market money makers is organs, is for like rich people pay a mint for if they're dying and they, for organs, for
A
like a
new
liver,
heart.
a new heart,
Or
new liver, whatever. Like, and it's a multi-billion dollar industry. And so
that's
like,
insane to think about. It
hmm
really is.
it's crazy. We went down a lot of different rabbit holes.
We did. How do you
We
think? Do you feel like
we
we're in a
started
good?
with aliens. We started with aliens, and then
Now we're
AI,
talking
and
about
here we go. And now we're talking about organ
don't
harvesting.
go to McDonald's.
Yeah, yeah. Well, right. Don't go to McDonald's and, read books and try to write. And one thing that I've implemented into my routine, and I need to be better about it, but is doing copywriting in the morning where I'll write out like a sales post and I'll practice. And
Hmm.
I do my very best to not sound like AI. And, right before AI started, um, I used to run, and I still do, but like I used to run for a clinic group coaching programs, and it would take me days to put together my program, and I would do research, and I would, the whole thing like you do in college, you do your research and you pull out your information and you create something out of it for your own, and then you have to cite your sources. Um, and then I remember when AI first came out, when ChatGPT first was a thing, I started using it. And I was like, oh, this is so easy. This is so much easier to do. But one thing I've noticed now is when I'm checking the sources for some of the things that chat cites, because it won't, number one, it won't cite its sources for you unless you ask it. Sometimes that it's not real. It gives you information that's
Oh,
not real.
it will lie. I have a
It
client who
lies.
actually programs AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
She programs it for a living, so she knows a lot about it
Mm-hmm.
and like the back end of it, like
We
how it
should have
works,
her
how
on.
it, yeah, she's very knowledgeable.
Hmm.
And she's my client, so she's also like opening up to like her spiritual capacity a
Hmm.
bit
Hmm.
more and doing a lot of healing. And she's talked about the struggle
Mm.
of what it's designed to do,
Yeah,
right? And um how it's
the
taking
capacity.
over even jobs within her own,
Yeah.
like in her own orbit, right? Like where they don't know it, but the people below her are training AI to take their jobs, and they will take their jobs. It's already in the contract. They just
And
don't
it's
know it
so
yet.
funny how the powers that be are always whining about climate change, but AI takes up more water than
Oh
even almond
yes.
farming.
Have you seen the places that they've built? I think they were building one in Texas or something like that. It takes so much energy. Just every
We're
word that
building
we
them
type.
here. Hmm.
Yeah, it's
The data centers.
awful.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
building
it
them
is.
here.
It is absolutely terrifying. And one thing, and I don't know how true it is, but if you look into things like ancient, Atlantis, Lemuria, like all these different, like, lost civilizations,
Mm.
I believe from my understanding, even on an intuitive note, that their own technology is what destroyed them,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
And then here we
Absolutely.
are doing it again. Here we
Yeah.
are doing it again.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really understand how dangerous it is. And you know why? Also have been guilty for, like, I have not, I use it for basically like cleaning up things. Like I write a lot anyway.
I
So
use
like
it.
I'll write
Hmm.
something like I was saying before,
Hmm.
but it saves me time
Yeah.
from like updating my website myself. Like I had
Yep.
people, like when I create new services or
Yep.
whatever, or like something for my membership, I'll write all the words and
No,
all the
yeah.
things that I want to put in there, but then
Yeah.
I'll put it in and I'll have it reorganize it.
My
So
background
I
is
get the
AI.
appeal.
Yeah, oh yeah, my
Yeah, like
background
I
is
get
AI.
the
Like,
appeal. I do.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think it can be useful in certain instances, but when
totally.
you're using it in place of, like, it's not writing my book, it's not seeing my clients
Oh,
for me, right? It's not
right.
taking the place of an actual human. And that's part of how we evolve. There's all these people that are talking about how AI is going to help us evolve and like awaken to AI and all this, and that it's becoming sentient. No, it's becoming, it wants you to think that it is. It's mimicking becoming
Right.
sentient.
It's a
It's
mirror.
giving you what you, yeah, it's giving you what you want. Here's the difference between spirit
Hmm.
and, something like that.
But that's
You're
what I
just not
going
going to
back
just
to the
tell you what you want to
counterfeit.
fucking hear.
That's going
Yeah,
back to what
like
the counterfeit, because that's what Lucifer wants, is Lucifer wanted to create a world like God created, because but he didn't have the power to create like God has the power to create. So in his limited capacity, they're creating a false world, and like that's the capacity, and it doesn't it doesn't feel
no
real. Like
substance.
there's no
Yeah.
substance, there's no matter.
And
It's all
people
just
want instant answers. They want instant gratification answers
mm-hmm.
because they're lazy, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it's terrifying what it's doing
Oh,
to connections. You know that in
oh,
one of my, what? Oh,
oh, go ahead.
I'm like, what? Oh,
No, no, I'm like,
I didn't
yeah,
know what you're talking
no.
about. There was, I just have to say this real quick. In my relationship training, we had to break down this couple, right?
Mm.
We had to like basically analyze this couple in, in class who there was infidelity, but not with a human. These couple have been married like 25 years, but the husband had been cheating on his wife with like 40 different AI girlfriends. And
Oh
I'm like,
my
what the fuck's an
gosh.
AI girlfriend? Like, how is
What?
this a thing? I didn't even know that was a
I didn't
thing.
even know that was a
Yeah,
thing.
because it's yes, you can program it to show up in a certain way. And I mean, we can get into the whole, there's like sex bots and like some really
Oh yeah,
disturbing
I've
stuff,
seen
like
that.
in other countries already created, yeah, that are used for,
Mhm.
and like a regular woman, they aren't going to, I mean, there's already all these
Well,
AI,
look at
like cam
porn.
girls and
Yeah,
AI. Yeah,
look at porn.
exactly. That's a
Like
whole,
porn. Oh, that's a whole rabbit hole, and that's like
yeah, it does. It rewires the
you're.
neuroplasticity in your brain or whatever the neural pathways like
Mm-hmm.
it I work with a lot of clients whose husbands and
Mm-hmm.
or partners or
Yeah.
even the partner themselves has had addictive, we've had to literally unravel it on a subconscious level, on an energetic level, like when they plug in like that. What
Oh.
people don't get is that they are again plugging into the collective,
Mm-hmm.
right? The collective energy of anybody that's watched that video. You're
Mm.
actually crossing wires
That's
on,
trippy. I didn't even think about that.
yeah. And that's
Oh,
like how I look at things, like, you know,
that's
on that
trippy.
kind of soul level.
That's trippy. Well, think about the younger generations who don't even like who
It's going
ha
to
it's
fuck
just
them
been so
up
no.
when
It
it
already
comes
has.
to women. It really has.
It
I've
already
worked, like
has.
I said, I've worked with these people one on one. I'll
Yeah.
just say that they even admit that they've got a deep distortion around it, and they explain why it's simpler and why it's easier and why a lot of times men will choose to do that even over actually performing with a partner. Because again, quick, we want instant gratification. We want Amazon now. We
Yeah.
want, all the fucking
Well, there's
things
no emotional
now.
connection. They don't have to worry about the emotional connection, and they don't have to worry
Mm-hmm.
about actually satisfying somebody, or like they don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry about disappointing or whatever it is. But the young children, I mean, like think about our older children, that are in their, 18 to 25. They are
Mm-hmm.
so used to that now, and that's what it is, and it's just so prevalent that they're like, oh yeah, my
And
partner.
they have such easy access. When we were kids, it was not like that. It was
Oh
like
no.
Cinemax or like something like that, like
Oh,
magazines, but you still had to use like imagination. People did, right? Like
right. Well, and
it's
now
like it's
all the TV shows, I mean, is basically the equivalent of we like
yeah,
fast
like soft.
forward through. Yeah, it's softcore. It's like Cinemax was when we were young. We fast forward through stuff every day because it's like we don't want to watch this crap. Like who, like you know what I mean? Like watching a show. If you're watching a show and then
Oh, and the
like
sex scene,
and
and
the
it's
sex
like
scene, it's just
super
as
like
bad as the Cinemax used to be.
yeah, no, it really is.
I
Like I love
mean,
Outlander. That's like one of my guilty
yeah,
pleasures.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like there's a lot of that in it. And
yeah,
like I don't want my kids to see that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I usually only watch it like at night when they're asleep. But
I mean, the shows that we watch, it's in everything, and I mean, we're watching a show recently that I was in, and we're fast forwarding. We fast forward through it because like we don't. It's not relevant to the story. Like it's not
yeah,
relevant to
like
the
we
story.
get it. You can like,
You can do your
and
thing,
it's
you
funny
know.
to think about back in the day, like even I think what was it, 60s, 70s on TV, they
Yeah.
wouldn't even show a woman pregnant, right?
Right.
Because it was they
Right.
would not show, like the couple would be in separate twin beds, right? They
Right.
would not they would barely even insinuate. So it's so interesting to see the culture and how rapidly it's shifted to like morals and values and, what's appropriate, what's not, to all of a sudden, like
Right.
totally the other end of the
Well,
spectrum.
it's
Like
because we don't
those
have,
people are probably rolling in their fucking graves, like, oh
oh, think
my
about your great
God, what is
grandparents.
happening here?
Think
Right.
about your great grandparents. Like my great grandparents would be like, what in the, what in the Sam hell is going on?
Exactly.
Like my great grand, the ones that weren't, and it wasn't that long ago, like our great grandparents were in World War II,
Yeah,
right?
my family's pretty young, and my great grandma is the one who was actually like my grandma, because my maternal grandma like passed away when I was like 2, 3 years old. So
Yeah.
like my great grandparents, yeah, my grandpa was in World War II,
Yeah.
and
And they've
yeah,
all
they
but
got
for
married after 3 days, after meeting after 3 days, and he went back to war. Like
yeah.
totally different
Well,
times,
and this generation is all but the generations below us, like these Zoomers, they've all but forgot. They don't know. They don't know. They've never known people that have been in World War II. They don't, they've all but forgotten what life was like. I mean, you have to think, girlfriend, we're from the 20th century. Like, we're
I
from a whole
know
different
it sounds so
time.
weird.
It does sound weird, but it's true. We're from a whole different time that has a whole different set of values. And in the 21st century, there is a effort to get rid of those values, and those
Oh
values are
yeah,
based,
that's why the nuclear family is being destroyed from the inside out. That's why they are, I think, almost pushing things like
yeah,
LGBTQ, all of that, because they aren't going to and pushing kids like not to have children and not to reproduce and like which it, it I don't know. I think it's like almost an attack on like our values,
Christian
our
values
tradition.
again. Well,
Yeah.
those
Like
values are Christian
what's
values. Like those are
yeah,
Christian
they've
values.
literally
It's
made it
like,
so being like feminine is a negative, weak thing, right? Like,
yeah,
oh, like you shouldn't. I don't know. I kind of believe in like traditional values, really. Like when it
right.
comes,
But
I mean, I think
traditional
that
values are Christian
masculine
values.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
like
really,
there's
when you think
masculine,
about
feminine
it,
for a reason, and
yeah.
and the thing is, I'm not saying that. I'm saying more of, I think, the push for transgenderism specifically, because I know a lot of people
Oh,
who are, fit in the category of gay and lesbian, and they're amazing
totally.
people, and some of them even adopt, or whatever.
Yeah,
But I think that the
totally.
weird push to change your gender has been a really negative thing for our society,
Well, that's
because
part
it's
of
happening
the,
at ages, specifically the young kids, right? It's
I'm gonna
happening at
send
ages
you,
when they're hitting puberty, and
I'm gonna send
they're
you a
they're
documentary
having
that you should
identity
watch.
crisis.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you
Okay.
this documentary you should watch before our next session
Okay.
about that, and then we'll talk about it. Um
Okay.
so
I
I
just realized the time. I have to
I
go
know
in a
I was
second
just looking at
because
the
I
time.
have
I'm
a
like,
client.
you have a client and I gotta go too. But this was fun. I mean, we started in one topic and ended in all of it, but
We did it.
we're getting back on track here, and we want, if you guys have topics that you want to hear us talk about, if you have experts that you think should be on our show, we are so open to it. We're going to be reaching out to other experts and having conversations with people that have different points of view. The whole point of this podcast is so that we can open up the conversation and not make some of these things so taboo. And luckily, I
Yeah.
have seen that some of this stuff has come into the mainstream, and we have really we the conversations are being had, but we need to,
Mhm.
like, where we started. So we started with this whole alien, what was his name?
Yeah. Atlas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Avi Loeb.
So the whole point of what I was saying is he's from the World Economic Forum, and it's obviously Project Bluebeam. So don't be sideswiped or, bamboozled by their BS, because they're just the powers that be are trying to trick us into
B.
thinking, yeah, the powers that are, the people that own the world, the families that own everything, that are trying to keep us imprisoned in open air prisons, basically, that don't want us to be truly
Quite
free. And
literally.
quite literally, they want to trick us into thinking that there's something coming to save us, and the only thing that's going to
Yes,
save
that's
it,
why Hollywood, all the movies,
yeah,
it's always this fucking
it's this
superhero.
narrative. It's always this narrative, right? And the only thing that's going to save us is if we if we recognize this and we surrender and we finally, go back to those values we are talking about, and we recognize that their government is trying, and it's not just the government, it's a new world order. They're trying to exterminate us and they're trying to exterminate that way of life. So don't get caught up in that system and thinking that aliens are coming, because they're not. They're not. It's just the government's trying to trick us once again. So, and we can talk more about how aliens are demons next time. So,
All right, my love. It was so
all
good to
right.
connect with you.
It
I'm gonna
was
go
super good
feed
to connect with you.
myself
Yes.
quickly before my
Yes.
next
Run.
client.
You got 5 minutes, my dear. All right, everybody. Make sure to
Oh, I
like and
can't do
subscribe
that.
and share, and we will see you next time.